I hope you guys are ready for a tonal shift, because that's exactly what you're going to get in today's Looney Tunes episode of Lupin the Third. Today's episode of Lupin the Third Part 5 is really going to appeal to longtime fans of the series, as this entire episode is essentially an homage to the third Lupin the Third anime series, otherwise known as the Pink Jacket series. It was one that was known a little bit more for its slapstick comedy and ridiculous expressions and irreverent storylines, and that's basically what we get in this episode right here, which is just absolutely goofy. It's insane. The entire premise is all about Lupin trying to become stupider so that he can open a safe that will only open if you have 0 brain power. Basically, you have to be a potato to be able to open this safe. But why is he even trying to open this safe in the first place? This episode has a storyline which is so ridiculous and goofy that you kind of have to see it for yourself, but they introduce this pair of brothers who are down on their luck, and their shop where they produce all types of weird inventions or whatever the hell it is about to get shut down, and they have one last opportunity to make a name for themselves. They're going to create a safe which cannot be broken into, even by the famous thief Lupin the Third, and they end up selling this massive safe to a bank who ends up turning it into this big sort of like game show event where Lupin actually decides to casually walk in and try to crack the code to open this thing. But the brothers came up with this crazy plan where you have to wear a headset in order to actually open up the safe, and it actually gauges how much brain power you have. The only way the safe is going to open is if you have 0% brain power. The dumber brother is able to pull it off. Lupin, on the other hand, is a genius master thief, and he has a brain power of 300. So the only solution is to lower that brain power, and first it starts off real simple, with Lupin just trying to act dumb, which does kind of work and leads to a lot of funny expressions, but it's when Fujiko and Jigen get in on the fun and antics that things really start to kick up, and it just turns into this giant sequence of jackass events where they just torture, beat the crap out of Lupin, and just put him in these situations which ultimately just dumb him down. Honestly, it's an episode that I can't do justice for only how insane and hilarious that it really is, but Lupin actually ends up defeating and cracking this case himself by going in a completely different direction. While he is able to lower his brain power to open this safe, which is ridiculous just talking about it, he actually decides to overload the safe by consuming fish, everything from head to tail, the bones and all, which allows his brain power to go to 301, which resets the entire machine, opening up the safe and impressing everyone in the process, while at the same time also making a name for these two brothers who are desperately trying to pay their bills. Really, guys, this is an episode you kind of have to see yourself just to believe it. So, what's the rundown on this episode of Lupin the Third Part 5? I don't have that much to say about this one outside of the fact that it's really funny and it's a little jarring when compared to some of the previous episodes that we've seen, especially considering that the last couple of episodes of Lupin have been playing it pretty serious. But this one right here, nah, it's all slapstick and it's all funny, and it almost has like almost a complete and different styled art change. Like, it is similar to what we've seen from the previous episodes, but they seem to be sort of channeling a lot of that funny, goofy energy from the third Lupin, the third anime series, going as far as to making Lupin wearing his distinctive pink jacket, which is what he wore during that season. It's a really nice callback, and I think fans of that part of Lupin are really going to enjoy this one right here, which, as I said in the beginning of the review, goes absolutely Looney Tunes with its antics. There's a lot of funny moments here, and it's great to finally see the entire Lupin gang back, actually interacting with one another in such a funny setting, especially Fujiko as well, as she was just very absent from the first couple of episodes, but she's back, buxom as ever, and also being very funny. Her interactions with Lupin in particular are pretty fantastic, and again, bring to mind memories of watching Lupin the Third when it premiered on Toonami for the very first time all those years ago. Really, this was just a wacky episode, which I feel is going to be a segue before we move into the next serious arc of the series. And honestly, episodes like this, I think, are a necessary thing, if only for just how funny it looks. That and just the overall visuals of this episode were a lot of fun. The two brothers have really great designs. The shop they live in is hilarious. I love how they're actually being evicted out of their home, and the bank went as far as to like putting notes all over their house saying all of these things that they're actually about to repossess because they can't pay their taxes. And they end up creating this like massive Dr. Seuss-esque safe, which is so ridiculous and crazy. I love it. And Zenigata might be the funniest thing about this episode, as he just can't, like, control the fact that all of this is happening. No one's trying to stop Lupin. He's breaking into this place and people are just having fun with the situation. All he wants to do is arrest this guy and no one even cares. It's just funny, to say the least. The production value of the episode was really great as well. Very, very high energy. Lots of fantastic friggin' expressions. Lupin getting thrown through the ringer by his teammates is fun, as you can tell that Jigen and Fujiko are having a lot of fun with it, because in many ways, they're sort of getting a little bit of revenge against Lupin for all the crazy shit that they've made him actually do throughout the entire series. So it's really satisfying to see. Really, this is just a big, fun, goofy episode of Lupin, and that's why I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Very different from the previous episodes, but channeling the energy of one of the original series. This is an episode that was made for the most hardcore of Lupin fans. So there it is. That's my thoughts on the episode. I'd love to get yours, however, and you can tell me all of them in the comments section below, and what you hope to see from the rest of Lupin the Third Part 5. So thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to tell me all your thoughts in the comment section. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, stay down, baby.